Hello, welcome to another video of the ERP training. In this particular video, we shall see what are the financial dimensions. So financial dimension, basically you can say that those are the cost centers or the segregation of the cost which can be used to enhance or segregate the costing and the revenue information. So basically we have eight dimension. One is the country, other is a business line, third is department, fourth is industry, fifth is typology, sixth is activity, seventh is a project ID, and eighth is a site ID. So you might be wondering the seventh and the eighth dimensions are not visible, but let me explain you that the first six dimensions are common. That means you can define them for all the entities as one, but the seventh and the eighth one, that is the project ID and the site ID, is differs from each country to country and each company to company. So like the project ID which I will have in, suppose in Myanmar, I won't have that in Lebanon. So that's why you cannot see those ID, but those will be available while posting the transaction. So under the countries section, you have to select the name of the country. Like if you are posting an expense or you posting any entry in the ERP, there are certain dimensions that you need to fill. So the first will be the country. So you have to select the country that you are doing. Suppose I'm the accounts manager of Myanmar. So for me, my country would be Myanmar. So I will select the code from the list, which will be MM in that case. So all the codes of each country is available. The second is a business line. So basically, if you see, we have two major business line. One is the ENC and other is the ONM. We have also created the third business line, that is OPS. So OPS basically captures all the information that is of admin nature. So any cost relating to the projects like ENC, you must select business line as ENC. For ONM, and for admin, so it's an operational support. There are few countries like Algeria, Ghana, and Pakistan where the group employee sits. So they have their base in those respective country. So this code be specifically used only for those countries. The third is the dimension is a department. So suppose you are posting an expense, let's say salary. So you'll select the first as a country, second you as a business line. So you can select how much is for ENC, how much for ONM, and how much is for OPS. So once you select the OPS or the admin have multiple accounts, the finance, procurement, QHSE, sales, and all those. So in that case, you can segregate the cost based on their the department. The fourth is the industry. So industry that we are operating, telecom. So telecom, power, and construction. So the telecom means specifically we are doing the telecom services. So any work that is like battery installation or that is relating to the power type, they should be classified only in the telecom. But here the power means the big transmission line, the power generation, all those type of big projects are considered under the power. For the construction, this is again a very wider. The construction does not here mean construction of tower. The construction of tower falls in telecom. So construction here means construction of roads, construction of malls, the big airports, or the build residential building, commercial building. So this is for those particular industry. So we have the typology, like if you can see for the telecom, if it is like majority of our company working on the telecom industry. So in that case, the typology would be TEL, that is telecom site by default. So power, you can select as I told you, solar farms, mini grid, transmission lines, substation. Okay, and for the construction, it's commercial or private, public. So all those big construction. Moving it to next one, activity. So there are certain set of activity that we have for, like we can see we have design. So design can include the like drive test, that can also include what you say, the site acquisition consultancy, the structural consultancy, all types of consultancy part falls under this. So when you're posting a transaction, you can see that the level of information keeps on refining. Like first, if we select the country, we can know the this expense or this particular transaction is for which country. Then if we go to the second one, we can define for which business line. Third, then we can define which department it is, then for which industry, then next one typology, and then what is the level of activity. So the cost or the transaction is refining to the activity level to perform more analysis. So this is the list of activities we have. For build is for site build, relocation or decommissioning, refurbishment, installation here includes all type of installation. Others means anything which is not covered above. So power equipments, tower, spare consumable for O&M, telecom, fuel supply, monitoring, active maintenance, passive fuel, security and utility management. So these are basically the activity that you can segregate. Okay, so many of you now having the confusion. There are many more activities. If you're gonna segregate, if we segregate to more minor level, a minute level, yes, I do agree with you, but we are in the process of refining them, and hopefully soon we'll come up with a more detailed activity set. So the next one that I spoke you about, the project ID. So all this project ID is basically the project ID of the sales report. So the country head and the sales team, they interact each other, and they generate the lead, and they convert them into the purchase order. So this particular purchase order or the activity is assigned a project ID. So that project ID in the sales report is created in the system, so that you can allocate the expense to the project level. Maybe like you said, the build, if you are building a site and you have three projects, that you have three level of segregation. Maybe this is for this one, for second phase, third phase. So in that case, the project ID comes in handy. So in case you don't find the project ID, you can send an email to the sales team for the confirmation, and looping country head as well. And once they confirm that they share with you the project ID, you can share with the ERP team, and they can create the project ID in the system. And the last one is a site ID. So now we are going a level further down, that is the site ID. So you can create the site ID in the system. The site ID has to be created by the accountant themselves, because creating a site ID is like monitoring at the lowest level. So definitely this cannot be handled at the group, but so the accountants here with the help of the project team can create the site ID in the system. So let me recap. So you can see that we have the 8 dimension, and these 8 dimension we need to capture for all the transaction. Many of you might think that it's a very time consuming, and but let me tell you, the once you get used to this, it won't take time, and it's really very easy. And the level of information you will have for analysis is really good. So let me recap. So we have dimensions, a country, we have business line. So for the business line, you have to use ENC, O&M, and OPS. The GRP is only for the three entities: Algeria, Ghana, and Pakistan. So procurement is here is not actually the procurement department. So let me again clarify. Procurement is not a procurement department. This procurement is actually to be used only by the group. Okay, so I specifically mentioned to not use in the operation. So then comes the department, then tell industry, typology, and then activity, project ID, and the site ID. So I hope the financial dimensions are very clear to you. And in case you still face any issue, you can please get back to me. Thank you so much.